My name is Rachel. For 11 years, I believed I had the perfect life. My husband, Mark, was a successful consultant who traveled frequently for work. I trusted him completely, never questioning his late-night arrivals or long weekend trips. We built a beautiful home, filled with laughter and shared dreams. But perfection is a fragile illusion, and my illusion was about to shatter in the most devastating way imaginable on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. It started with a simple, misplaced iPad. Mark had left it on the kitchen counter before leaving for his 3-day business trip to Chicago. It buzzed with an incoming message. Usually, I wouldn't pry, but the preview read, "Daddy, when are you coming home? Lily misses you." My heart skipped a beat. Mark and I didn't have children. Who was Lily? Why was someone calling my husband Daddy? A cold shiver ran down my spine. Unable to stop myself, I unlocked the device. The passcode was still our wedding anniversary. What I found inside tore my world apart. There were thousands of photos. Mark, smiling warmly, holding a little girl with his eyes. Beside him was a beautiful woman, looking at him with absolute devotion. The locations weren't Chicago hotels. They were in a quiet suburb just an hour away. He didn't have business trips. He had another life. I spent the next 24 hours in a state of numb shock, digging through digital footprints. I discovered his secret. For 5 years, Mark had been living a double life. He had married a woman named Sandra in a small, private ceremony. They had a 4-year-old daughter. He divided his weeks between us, spinning a web of elaborate lies. I was the loyal first wife, Sandra was the unsuspecting second. We were both pawns in his sick game. Instead of screaming or breaking things, a cold, hard anger settled in my chest. Mark was returning the next evening. I decided I wouldn't confront him alone in our home. I wanted him to face the reality of what he had done. I tracked down Sandra's phone number from the iPad contacts. With shaking hands, I dialed. When she answered, her voice was warm and gentle. I took a deep breath and said, "Sandra, you don't know me, but we share a husband." Sandra's initial reaction was disbelief, then anger, and finally, quiet devastation as I sent her the proof. She had no idea. Mark had told her he was a consultant who traveled to New York for his job. He had built the exact same illusion for her. We spent hours on the phone, crying together, our shared pain turning into a powerful bond. We realized we were not enemies. Mark was the enemy. Together, we formulated a plan for the ultimate confrontation. The next evening, Mark walked into his suburban home with Sandra, expecting a quiet family dinner. Instead, he found me sitting at the dining table next to Sandra. The look of absolute terror on his face when he saw us together was worth every tear I had shed. His briefcase slipped from his hands, clattering onto the hardwood floor. The color drained from his face as he realized his double life had collapsed in a single moment. He tried to explain, stumbling over his words, telling lie after lie, but Sandra and I stood united. We didn't argue with him. We simply presented him with 2 sets of divorce papers, already signed by both of us. We had hired the same ruthless attorney. We demanded full custody for Sandra's daughter and a complete division of assets. Mark pleaded, he cried, he begged for forgiveness, but his words meant absolutely nothing to us anymore. The legal battle that followed was swift and brutal. With our combined evidence of his financial deceit and fraud, the judge ruled heavily in our favor. Mark lost his savings, his houses, and his reputation. His company let him go after the scandal went public. He was left with nothing but the wreckage of his lies. He tried to build 2 empires on a foundation of betrayal, and in the end, he was crushed under their weight. Today, Rachel and Sandra share a beautiful friendship built on the ashes of shattered trust. We raise Sandra's daughter, Lily, with love, honesty, and support. Mark is a distant, pathetic memory. We learned that betrayal can break you, but it can also lead you to the people who will help you rebuild a stronger, more authentic life. Out of the darkest betrayal, we found sisterhood, strength, and a brand new beginning.